Hello, Zuko here. Long time no sitting and talking in front of a camera, especially not about books, which I read like none of after February last year, except one. It was really bad. But I have been cleaning off my bookshelves and kind of reading a little bit of reading, little bit. And now I have this year's on haul. Are you ready? Let's go! So the first book I have here is Thief of Souls. It is book 2 in some series by Neil Shusterman. I'm only getting rid of this because I got it in hardback to match my other ones. I don't know if you can see this shelf. No, it's too high up. But it's all hardbacks that are the same size, so I would like this to match. Then I have this Dead Inside Do Not Enter Notes from the Zombie Apocalypse. It's all just like lettery type things from an apocalypse. I don't know. I bought it in a zombie phase. I'm sure it was very cheap, but I don't need it. Wait, was that stickers? It felt like it might have stickers in it. No, that's not stickers. I have been misled. No stickers. Then I have this hardback graphic novel of Artemis Fowl. Just the first one. Just the first Artemis Fowl, I guess. It is like a library binding version, and I bought it, and I don't know why, so I'm unbuying it. Then I have Rise Again by Ben Tripp. I'm sure that this is a good book, but it's been on my shelf for years. I have never once thought about picking it up, but I have an entire shelf of zombie books, so like this one can go, because the rest are series, and I don't need all of the zombie books, you know? Then I have all of the Vladimir Todd books because I've never read these, just haven't. Most of these I haven't read, I feel like, but I am now a almost 24-year-old woman. I don't need books about 8th grade. Just don't. I just don't. High school is not interesting to me. It can go. I feel like I've tried to unhaul this before, and I'm sorry because I just realized I haven't been saying the names of the authors for the other books, but this is the Five Nights at Freddy's Silver Eyes by Scott Cawthon and Kira Breed Risley? Yeah. I'm not gonna read this. I don't want to own this. It makes me feel sad inside. I'm an adult. This has to be somewhere else now. Then I have Gone, Hunger, Plague, Lies, Fear, and Light by Michael Grant? I think this is Michael Grant. I have so many YA like dystopian series, which I think is what this is, that I just know that this is one I'm probably never going to get around to, so it's time to pass it along. I'm sure these are fun, but I know I'm not going to read them. Then I have To Hold the Bridge by Garth Nix. I think I bought this from Book Outlet 2 years ago without knowing it's part of a series, and I have other fantasy series that I own all of that I haven't read yet, so maybe I'll buy this one again in the future if I decide I like fantasy, but I don't think I like fantasy. But I'm gonna give it a try with what I have on my shelf and not with this one right now because I think I'd have to buy other books before I could even read this one. So yeah, it's leaving. Then I have Zodiac and Wandering Star by Romina Russell. I bought these because mostly, let's be real, the covers are fun. They're very pretty. I think they're really pretty covers, but like reading into like the reviews of this and what this seems to be about with insta-love and stuff is like not my thing. If I could read books without romance in them, that'd be ideal. I don't think these books are for me. Then I have Standoff by Andrew Smith. I don't have Ringer, which I believe is the first book in this, and it's just, I don't know if I want to read Ringer. I've heard really good things about it. I feel like I've heard that this one's less good, but I don't have Ringer. I bought this on like Book Outlet because it was cheap, and I was like, oh, I'll buy the first one. I don't think I will read either, so I think this one's gotta go. Then I have Somebody Up There Hates You by Hollis Seaman, and it is straight up the worst book I've ever read. It was bad, like bad, because it's like if The Fault in Our Stars lost all of its redeemable qualities, and then 2 underage people had sex and then almost died because they had sex. That's this book. Don't read it. Please, it's upsetting. It's upsettingly bad. Next, I have The Miniature Wife and Other Stories by Manuel Gonzalez. I read most of this book like 2 years ago, and it couldn't hold my attention long enough for me to even finish it. Like, I was so frustrated with having to sit down and read this book. So it needs to go because I know I'm never going to reread it, and I also know I'm never going to actually finish all the stories in it. Then I have No Safety in Numbers, No Easy Way Out, and No Dawn Without Darkness by Dana Lawrence. I read the first one of these when it came out, and it was fine. It was slow. It took me a long time. And then I read like half of this one when it came out, and nothing happens. They're very slow. They're very uninteresting. Like, they had a good premise, but I feel like it was executed in a mediocre way because it just became a teen drama, and it couldn't hold my interest. So they're leaving because I'm not going to read that last one. And I'm not going to reread them to even remember what happens because they were so unmemorable. Then I have The 11th Plague by Jeff Hirsch, twice, because this is the book that last year I ended up buying a second copy of because I forgot I owned it, and I clearly really wanted to read it. Now I've read it, and it was fine. It was not memorable. It was just a pretty, like, fine dystopian novel. The romance was kind of weird, and the plot was kind of boring, and it has nothing to do with the plague. Like, the plague happened years and years before the story starts, where I thought it was going to be like a cool survival plague book, and it just wasn't. So it wasn't what I wanted, and it's not something I'm ever going to reread again, so it's got to go. Then I have Artemis Fowl and The Lost Colony by Owen Colfer. I'm only getting rid of this because I accidentally bought a duplicate copy of this. I have this book sitting over there in hardback, so I don't need it. Also, I just pointed behind the book. That's not how you see things, it's over there. But yeah, I already have this one, so I don't need a second copy. Then I have Suck It Up by Brian Meal. I tried to read this 2 years ago. It was hard to try to read, and it looks like it's just gonna be like a really mediocre vampire romance, and I think there's a sequel where the vampire becomes like a firefighter or something. It's just not my kind of book. It's just contemporary romance, but like there casually happens to be a vampire. I don't know. I tried really hard to read it. Like, I wanted to like it, and I made it like 100 pages in, and it wasn't holding my attention at all. And thinking about trying to read it again, I don't want to, so it's going. And lastly, I have Ancestor by Scott Siegler. I bought this book because it was like $5, and I don't think I'm gonna read it because it's big and it doesn't seem that interesting to me. I have a lot of other like horror, dystopian, zombie, whatever. I have all of these books. I have all of the books that this fills in a genre. So I don't need this one specifically, especially because I bought it on impulse for $5 and not really because I thought it was going to be a great book. It was more, oh, I see it and it seems like it could be interesting, so like, yeah. So this book is gonna find a new home. So yeah, that's my 2019 book unhaul. It feels really nice to get this done because a lot of them have been sitting there for about a year, and I was just waiting until I had like accumulated enough to make a video and also to just take them to the used bookstore. I can't send these to you, so don't bother asking, but you can tell me if you read any of the books here and if you liked them or you disliked them, or if you're mad at me because I didn't want to read them, because most of them I haven't read. So yeah, I'll see you whenever I do my next video. I don't know when that'll be. I think I can do a wrap up this month, so we'll see. And I'm trying to do covers, but again, we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you whenever I do my next video.